Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are answering the internet's finance questions. More specifically, we are answering, should I pay extra on my mortgage or invest extra income for growth? My APR on my home is 3.125%, and I could gain more on stocks than that. So let's answer exactly that. As always, my name is Derek and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. When it comes to answering this question, there are really two groups or camps of people. One where all debt is bad no matter what, and the other where it depends on the interest rate of that debt and what that debt is for. And I tend to lean in that camp, but I'm going to take it a step further because there are a few other things that we need to talk about. Now, back in college, my professor actually told me that if we could plan out our perfect financial life, we would borrow as much money as physically possible and it would be due on the day that we die. Now, that is batshit crazy, to be honest, but it kind of highlights or shows people who are really finance focused how their minds work. Now, we don't live in some simulation that we created in college. We live in the real world. And in the real world, three things really matter. One is, can you arbitrage your money? Because that's what you're doing in this scenario. You are taking money out at a lower interest rate and you are investing it at a higher interest rate. Secondly is comfort, because personal finance and finance is one very small portion of our entire life. So comfort is important. And third, how close are you to retirement? Because the closer that you are to retirement, it affects both your comfort when it comes to this, as well as your ability to arbitrage your money. So let's talk about it. First, let's talk about how close you are to retirement. As you approach retirement, technically, you can always arbitrage your money if the interest rate on your money is lower than the amount that you can make. With that said, as you approach retirement, usually in a well-balanced portfolio, you're going to be moving your assets from higher earning but more risky assets like stocks to lower earning but safer assets like bonds. So the distance between the amount that you borrowed and the interest on the amount that you borrowed and the amount or the return or the yield that you are getting shrinks. The distance between those shrinks. And we also have to take into account inflation, right? So usually, if you can arbitrage your money, you should, at least from a bare bones, purely looking at it from a financial standpoint, right? Just taking nothing else into account. But as you approach retirement, that ability is going to diminish, which is going to affect a couple of other things, which is one of those is comfort. As you approach retirement, a lot of people want to feel comfortable in their retirement and they do not want to have looming debts over their head. With that said, 3.125% is very, very low interest, and it's going to be a long time, if ever, that we experience that again. So if there's any debt that you'd probably want to hold on to, and I can only speak for myself, I would probably want to hold on to this debt. But there is nothing wrong with wanting to feel comfortable at any age. So if your primary goal is to feel comfortable, which it should be, because personal finance is this small portion of our life, but in reality, what's the goal here in life? I think many people have many different goals, but the overarching goal is to be happy, right? To pursue happiness. So if comfort relates directly with your happiness, and for you to be comfortable, you want to pay off your debts, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, me personally, I have a background in finance, and it actually makes me more comfortable to do what the financial principles tell me that I should do. It gives me comfort following those to a T. But comfortability is a very, very important part to this conversation, and that is why there is something known as how risk adverse you are, right? Everyone is different, and everyone's adverse level or adverse to risk level is different, and that is why personal finance is personal. It is dependent on each person. So that comes down to comfort. So really, the three things that you have to look at here is one, your ability to arbitrage your money, two, your comfortability in the situation, and three, how close you are to retirement. And if you notice, the first two are interrelated with that last one, because as you approach retirement, your comfortability holding debt might diminish, and that usually is because your income producing years are you're getting closer to the end of your income producing years, right? And as you move into retirement, you're moving into a fixed income or you're drawing from assets, etc. So your ability to arbitrage your money shrinks, okay? Not only because of your income producing years, but also because you're moving assets into safer assets, which usually generate a lower yield or a lower return. And secondly, your comfort is going to probably you're going to draw more comfort from being less debt burdened. Okay. Now, again, it also depends on your financial backing and how good you are at personal finance, because I know that there are people watching this who'd say, I have a 3.125% mortgage. I'm never, ever getting rid of that, right? Until it is gone, I'm never going to purposely pay more than that because I know I can generate more than that. And when you throw in inflation into the equation, that's a negative interest rate anyway, because which is a more advanced topic, but you're basically, it's lower than the inflation rate, so why would I ever get rid of it? I get that, and if that is who you are, that's totally fine. But I genuinely think that at the end of the day, we need to pursue happiness and comfort above all else. And yes, I'm a finance channel. This is a finance channel. I love personal finance, but we live in the real world. And for some people, people in my life that I talk to, debt is not necessarily something they want over their head, and it's better or more comfortable to just eliminate that debt, even though you could probably arbitrage your money. So I hope this was informative. I hope I didn't drag that answer out too much. I want to give you guys as much as I possibly can while keeping it simple and easy to understand. And I hope I did that. So if you like personal finance, or if you like world economics broken down simply, you are in the right place. This is a relatively new YouTube channel, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. It helps us tremendously, and this is something that I'm very passionate about and I want to share with you guys for many, many years. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification. Usually new videos come out on Tuesdays, but I'll usually do a video Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday if there's something that we really need to talk about, a Federal Reserve meeting, an interest rate change, etc. I'll try to bring that here for you guys. So other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.